Check it out, YouTube. It's your boy at Cap Kurt with the 87 Chevrolet R10. What I'm about to show you guys today is how to take the lower ball joint off your truck. I got some new springs, so I'm going ahead and replacing the ball joints while I got this shit apart. So I already did this side, and I'm about to go ahead and start on the other side. But what I got here is I got this renter tube from AutoZone. I'm sorry, Advanced Auto, but you can get it at either store. $150, you get to rent it, take it back, you get your money back. But it did the job. Pretty much C-clamp press, pop that thing right on out of there. But I'm about to show you guys how to do it on the other side. Make sure you jack your vehicle up in the middle. Always use precaution, use jack stands for safety. And make sure your vehicle's in park. And I'm about to get started. First thing I'm going to do is remove the ball joint on the ball joint. What's that thing called? The little wire that goes through the ball joint to secure the nut. I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to loosen the lower ball joint all the way up to the tip top. But I'm not going to take the bolt out all the way. I'm going to knock it loose while the bolt is still on the ball joint, just so that I can secure it. And being that I have a cut spring already, it's not necessary for me to put a jack underneath the A-arm to keep it from popping loose when I remove that bolt. But if you do have springs on your car that have not been cut, you will need to make sure that you have a jack beneath the A-arm so that you can release that pressure that's still retained in those springs when you're getting ready to remove that, when you take that ball joint nut off. But in my case, I'm not going to use a jack beneath the A-arm when I can release the pressure from the springs, because I already cut the springs, so it's not necessary to do so, because there isn't enough tension in there to be a problem. So make sure you have all your tools. I'll call them out to you. Here's what you're going to need. You're going to need your pickle fork, needle nose pliers. You're going to use these. You're also going to want ear protection when you're knocking on that pickle fork to remove that ball joint from the spindle. Alright, you're going to use your pliers and remove the little wire that's securing the nut for the ball joint. This is the wire I was talking about. I can't think of what the fucking name of it is. Alright. Next thing you want to do, you're going to need a 1 inch and 1/16 size socket to remove your ball joint nut. 1/2 inch ratchet go on top of it. Break it free. Like I say, unscrew it all the way to the top. You don't want to take it all the way off, because if you got a spring in here that hasn't been cut and you knock that thing loose, it's just going to fly free and shit can go everywhere. So you just want to unscrew it all the way up to the top, leaving that bolt on there. You're going to need your pickle fork. You're going to put it between the spindle and the ball joint. Get it up in there nice and good. Now that I got it in there, I'm going to use a hammer. This is a 16-ounce hammer. You're going to want to get something heavier than this if you want to make this shit easier, but this is all I got. So, get it on there nice and snug. It's on there. Get on there nice and snug. Now it's time to go to town on it. You heard that? It's pop free. So you remove your pickle fork. What that means is that the bolt stopped it, so now you're going to have a lot of tension on this bolt. At this point, you're going to want to put a jack beneath your A-arm to isolate that pressure and tension that's on that coil spring, but because my spring has already been cut, it's not necessary in my case. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. While you're at this point, before you drop that all the way, go ahead and remove your shock from the frame of the truck. You're going to need an 18mm socket to remove the shock off of your vehicle. And this, we are referring to a Chevrolet R10 truck, so pretty much any C-Series truck, you're going to need the same size sockets and same tools. So you're going to remove your shock so that you'll be able to drop your A-arm as far down as you need to. Get the job done. My shock loose. I'm going to pull that out. There's your shock. Alright, now you go ahead and finish with this bolt here. Piece of shit. Fucking spent the ball joint twisting, so just use some pliers and hold that shit in place. Finish removing it. Fucking pliers. Let me get some more pliers. Imagine if that was a spring that hadn't been cut. That shit, it would have flew from under there. You know, tell me what type of damage would have been done. So now that I got that out the way, I'm gonna push my A-arm out. Alright, got my coil spring out. This has already been cut. So next thing I want to do is try to get this damn upper control arm and this wheel hub assembly all out of the way, because I'm going to need this room to work with when I remove this ball joint. So I'm just going to lift up on it, and back here on the brake line, I'm going to use this nut that's on there to secure it to this upper A-arm, or secure it to the frame of the truck that the A-arm rests on top of. about like so. Just trying to get out the way so I can have some room. Now I've got plenty of room to get to this ball joint. As you can see, it is very worn out. So I'm gonna get the ball joint tools. Alright, I got the necessary parts that I'm going to need out of the kit so that I can remove my ball joint. I'm going to use the back, this receiver. This is going to go over the back of the ball joint. So it should be big enough to go around the ball joint so that when you push it out, you can push inside of it. And I got a jack handle, which is what I'm going to use for my breaker bar. And I'll show you how I'll do that when I get ready to do it. So, got that there. This is gonna go here. This is going to go on the back of that. But first, I'm gonna do this. See what I did? I took this piece in the kit and I put it on there like that. First, try to get this down rubber bushing, rubber thing out of your way, so you can see what the hell you're doing. It won't be in the way. Get that out the way. Put this on there. And I put this piece on there. Like that. And I put this over the ball joint nut. And then I slide. I put this on there. And back it off a little bit. And I put this on there and put it over the ball joint. Slide this up under there. This grease makes it real messy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my steering wheel the other way so that I can have as much room as possible on this side right here. Now I'll put this back up there where I had it. My gloves back on. Trying to beat the clock. I gotta go to work. I want to get my money back from this $150 press kit. And my wife complaining about me spending on money, especially that much on a part for a truck. Alright. Put this back over the ball joint. Put this in there. Put that over the ball joint nut. anything to get this thing as straight as possible, it's going to require you pushing the A-beam down so that you can work it at an angle so that everything line up. You get it lined up, tighten it up so that it will hold in place. As long as it's loose, it's going to keep falling apart and shit. So snug it up. It's going to help shit stay in place. And then after you do that, line everything up as best way you can. Fuck. Alright, let me find my ratchet here. I need to grab my socket and I'll be ready to go. Where the fuck my socket at? It's right here the whole fucking time. Alright. That's how it is when you're rushing, man. You just overlook shit. Go with your socket and everything on there. Make it the final adjustments. Try to line this tool up as best you can. Everything looking good. Alright. Like I said, I'm going to use this as my breaker bar. Pretty much it's going to give me more leverage, which makes it easier to turn this ratchet. It's going to require less effort for me to turn it. That's the ball joint popping out of place. That's it right there. Right there is the removal of your lower ball joint. Ta-da! I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to separate the video as far as ball joint removal and spring installation. But, peace. Oh, follow me on Twitter, @CapKurt. on Twitter at CAPTCURT. I won't be talking about shit, but you know, you can follow your boy anyway. Anyway, peace. Thanks for watching. 87 Chevrolet C-10 on the road to victory.